Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for the LA Sevens Samoa taking on the USA. Now, this is a very crucial game for both of these sides in this pool. Whoever wins this has a better chance of making it to the quarterfinals. We've already seen a couple, some would say, upsets in this Rugby LA Sevens competition so far. New Zealand about to lose to the Australians. They are just playing in extra time. Whinia Norfolk has received the red card as well for the Kiwis, so that will not be handy later on. But Samoa versus USA, always an entertaining fixture when these sides go head to head. This time will be no different. Now, they actually faced in Vancouver. It was 21 points to 7 in favour of the USA. Both sides losing to France and Argentina in Vancouver as well. But the starting lineup for the USA, it is Naima Folau, also Joe Schroeder, Kevon Williams, Malachi Isdale, Perry Baker. Of course, the impact that man brings to a side is extremely impressive. Aaron Cummings and Steve Thomasin. Then for the Samoans, it is Yuna Sioni getting himself a restart since coming back from his layoff. We've got Noele Letufia, Fa'afoi Falaniko, Motu Opitai, Steve Onisai, Aleza Pita Alafipo, and Taunu'u Nauli Vaya. But those are the two sides going head-to-head. Hi all, and Hamish says, Robert, welcome in, mate. We also got there going for the Manu from Tassi. And let's go, Manu. You can do this, says Fa'ami Siona in the chat as well. But about to make their way out of the tunnels, ready to go. It is a very important game. And it is actually the last game that we will see of today. Now, we are going to be covering the LA Sevens, of course, tomorrow. So if you are new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Kevon Williams, though, getting to make his way out onto the field in front of the rest of his side, bringing up a milestone for this contest. But there's an interesting feel for this game because, of course, USA actually performing a little bit better than some anticipated in the last competition in Vancouver. Samoa, they made it to the quarterfinals, which some people doubted would actually be an occurrence, but they got the job done, made their way through on that technicality, and that was also because of such a good performance up against Australia in the opening contest of the competition. So they will want to start just like they did in Vancouver with a big win. USA, their last contest up against France, they were defeated by around that 30 points. So they want redemption here. Both sides raring to go. 50th tournament here for Kevon Williams. Just trying to get the scrum cap on. It looks like it's a little tight. He wasn't quite able to get the head in it. Do let me know your score predictions in the comments down below as well. It will be the Samoans kicking off this one, going from right to left for their first contest in the LA Sevens. Alofipo to get us underway, and it is kicked off long down towards the USA 22 and thrown up in the air as Kevon Williams by Joe Schrader. Now Thomasin looks to the short side where they've got the big man Aaron Cummings taken down well. Alofipo, I believe, trying to get in there. In fact, it's going to be Noole Vaya, but they have given away the penalty. And not live in Hong Kong, says Robert Vale. Of course, Hong Kong just around the corner in the Sevens circuit. Both of these sides sitting right on the verge of relegation. Samoa on 20 points, whereas the USA, they are on 30. We have got there... I think that's... Well, Rugby is going to be coming on at half-time, ladies and gents. He is waiting eagerly. Come give us some statistics, but I do appreciate massively that he did it because at the end of the day, we were not here. And I wanted to give you guys something to be able to watch along with the game with. So yeah, be sure to give Tim a big thank you when you guys do see him next. Perry Baker running sideways at the moment. In fact, now he's running backwards, but he's actually still managed to keep that ball alive for the USA. Gets a pass out wide to Steve Thomasin. Now Aaron Cummings. Motu Opitai. Man, just to wrestle down the man in front of him. Thomasin back across to the left-hand side. Look at there, Samoa 24, USA 12. Kevon Williams, though. Pots the ball up to Malachi Isdale. Perry Baker heavily involved throughout the first 100 seconds of this contest. Oh, let's go Samoa. Says some run there. Now Steve Thomasin gets a pass on the outside to the big man Schrader. Another pass to Cummings. Everyone's got the bright yellow boots. Someone got a sponsorship deal by the looks of it, but that will be the penalty to Samoa. Quick tag taken by Motu Opitai. Both sides will try and keep this ball alive as much as possible. Normally when they push the pace is when they're most dangerous. Steve Onisai almost going through the gap, but he's taken down by Perry Baker. Too many people beat Baker in a foot race. In this case, he once again is quick enough. Now Levi, that looks like Schrader's lost his footing. So wouldn't have been able to go for that ball, but now Motuopitai going back across in the middle to Ionasioni. Alofipo moving to the right-hand side now for Samoa, pushing it out wide to Steve Onisai. Does a little short pop pass up to Alofipo. Neither team having a stoppage as of yet throughout this first 3 minutes. Nice run from Ionasioni. Offloads it now to Motuopitai. Another offload, but Letufia. I thought he knocked it on, but the ref says backwards. And because of it now, Samoa in the perfect position. Fafui Palaneko puts it out wide. And Elizapita Alofipo will score the first try of the match. How you doing the cricket today, mate? The test, says Mr. T. Sadly, we won't be doing the test match between New Zealand and Australia. I know that New Zealand are now batting for the last time of that test match. The last I saw, they were, I believe it was 3 down. But, yeah, sadly, with all the overlaps, we won't actually be able to do too much of that one. And come on, Samoa, yay, try, says Spider Mick. It was a nice wide pass out to Elisa Pitalo Fipo. Just finished the job nicely for the Samoans. Now sitting 5-0 up with a kick to come. Ooh. That didn't even look like he tried to kick that one there. Not sure who that was, but he literally looked like he was stepping up and didn't want to. And Hammy is back. How was the cricket game you had? It was rough, to be honest. It was very short, which is why I'm actually back. Initially, it was going to be about 7:30 or 8 before I got back. But the game, we were playing on a pitch that certainly did a bit. And, yeah, now we're back. But we are going to be covering now both games of Super Rugby Pacific. That one has not travelled the 10 metres that it required off kickoff. So now the USA have got the option on the halfway line of what they would like to do next. So Joe Schroeder, well, as the USA, more than likely will go with the scrum here. Samoa have not won their pool this season. They won their pool 6 times last season. So that just tells you the difference in terms of how the Samoans normally are able to attack and get a lot of tries in a hurry. But this USA side, after the last week, I believe that they will have a few tries just up their sleeve. Kevon Williams now manages to step through, beats him for pace on the outside, and Kevon Williams in tournament number 50 crosses the line for the USA, makes it a nice easy kick as well, and that will now make the score between these two sides more than likely 7-5 to the USA. A very good time to score it. They have lacked possession throughout this first 7 minutes, but Alofipo misses the tackle of Kevon Williams. Then big diving attempt from, I believe that would have been, actually, who is the number 10 for the Samoans? I know used to be number 10 was Paul Scanlon, but he is not playing at the moment. I know, says Spider-Mick, mate, do you have a clone? I do not know. If I did, then multitasking and also multiple streaming at the same time would be a lot easier. Plus, I'd still get sleep, which is something that will be a rarity over the weekend, I would say. Now it's going to be kicked off by the USA. Fulao has put it high. Leaping up with that was Steve Thomasine. Actually played the man in the air. Now, sometimes that can be a yellow card. In that case, I think it would have been a penalty at worst. But now back across to the left-hand side. Lot of pressure coming here. Now, nice inside ball. Step in there. Ionasioni gets through 2. Hoping to step up here throughout this competition. Letufia, they've got space now for Samoa. Puts it back on the inside to Steve Onisai. 30 metres from the try line now for the Samoans, and the penalty does go their way. Now Ionasioni is going to try and take that one quickly, and he does just that, moving across to the left-hand side now for Samoa. Got numbers if they can use them. Cummings is a long way off his wing, and because of it, it's actually left the gap and the opportunity for Alofipo. Being tackled by Cummins as well as Joe Schroeder, and in the end Cummings gets the turnover, takes the quick tap himself with his bright yellow boots. Perry Baker. Is that so that the USA can tell the difference between their forwards and their backs? Because I think it's only the forwards who got the fancy new boots for this week. Joe Schroeder passes back across to Perry Baker. I was very entertained tonight, thank you, Hamish. Says Robert there. Now Malachi Esdale getting forced backwards. Ball available again for Steve Thomasin. Perry Baker passes across. They're only 5 metres from their own line. Interception pass, hospital pass in fact. Cummings has managed to clean it up. Alofipo wins the penalty. And that is the worst possible time for the USA to give up the ball, as they are now only inches from the line here, the big Samoan forwards. Alofipo across. There was the halftime siren. It's not going to matter though, as Nueli Letufia. In fact, it's Taununa Oliveira who has gone in for the try. He might have some sort of injury. It took a little while to get back up to his feet. No, it's Fafoi Falaniko. Has managed to go through. Jeez, he ran that like he was one of the big forwards. Just stepped beautifully around Kevon Williams. Mate, will you be doing football streams? Not anytime soon that I know of, mainly because I feel like if I started doing it, I want to be able to do it consistently. But with the schedule that we've got at the moment, it makes it extremely tricky. But that kick has gone over from the Samoans. So at halftime now in this contest, it is sitting at 12 points to 7. But now for the halftime break, ladies and gents, we are going to have a guest on the channel. Some of you would have seen him earlier on today. He did cover for us while we were playing cricket, and he's going to give us some statistics at halftime. But hello, Tim. How are you, mate?
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have any statistics on this game, but no, I was watching. It was pretty impressed actually by both sides. I mean, Samoa obviously doing well with that early try, just kind of progression obviously for the passes and that. But I mean, that try that the US scored, however, was really just more of an individual one for Williams. Just beat him for pace at the end of the day. And then yeah, the last one just was not the best play really from the US. And yeah, Samoa also just capitalized it onto it, and got the kind of deserved, I think, victory going into this first half. But
I think the big thing for the USA is they lacked possession, unfortunately. Yes. And as soon as they got it, it seemed like they were going to have some decent moments with the ball in hand. But Samoa, I think, at the moment look like the more physical side out there on the field, and perhaps that is somewhere in the second half that the USA will have to try and muscle up a little bit more. Like when you look at the size of their forwards, like Schroeder's huge compared to most of the Samoan team. You've also got Aaron Cummings, who had little moments throughout the first half. So if you had to say, what's your full-time score prediction? Can the USA come back, or do you see Samoa being able to continue this momentum and walk away with the victory?
I think for what I've seen in that first half, I think Samoa definitely have the edge over the US, but the thing is that you can't really underestimate the US, because also when I look at their bench, I think they have a stronger bench compared to the Samoans. Like they can bring like Louis Lecamp on, who had a great tournament last week in Vancouver. They also have Madison Hudges off the bench as well. So they have some good players there. So I mean, if those players come on, then maybe the tide could change. But if I had to make the safe bet, I'd probably say Samoa to still kind of hold on to this lead and even extend it going into the second half.
Alrighty, well, second half just about to get underway, mate, but hopefully you do enjoy the second half, and we'll see you a little bit later on. But ladies and gentlemen, now second half has just kicked off by the USA, and they have already retained the ball. So possession, a key word for the second half. Let's see whether or not the USA can do so. But Samoa look good, managing to get himself the 2 tries. Kicked him behind, Perry Baker, the ball sits up for him, and already we're going to see the try for the USA. They have answered back almost instantly after half-time. And now it's going to be a nice, easy kick as well. 12 points to 12. Hi, Hamish, how are you? Hamish Bro, Tim, also nice commentary. Can you both together once again meet here? Says Michelle. If you do like seeing me and Tim together, of course, we have got the Rugby Recap Podcast YouTube channel, which is every single week. We have a couple podcasts talking all things rugby. So be sure to give that a look. Do you study about pronouncing name, Hammy? You good? Says Spider Mick. It does take quite a bit of research for some of the pronunciations. Like, there's still some that I get very wrong, though. We try our best to get them relatively close. I'll enjoy this as a rarity, says Robert. There we go. The Rugby Recap YouTube channel link is there in the chat. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. Over on there, you actually hear all about the Rugby Sevens and the near future as well. But now Motu Opitai goes across to the left-hand side to Yuna Sioni. USA are leading by the 2 points here. Alofipo trying to bust through the tackle attempt of Perry Baker. Back across to the right-hand side. Nueli Letufia Goes across, almost the opportunity for the inside ball from Fa'afoi Falaniko, one of the try scorers for the Samoans. And tell you what, he's not going to be the last if Yunasioni can keep those ears pinned back. He almost dropped the ball. The manages to hang on. Malachi Isdale and also Madison Hughes. In fact, it's Thomas Seen have both been able to stop it. But now Madison Hughes takes the quick tap. They are inside of their own half here, Samoa, having to defend up against the strong USA attack. Kevin Williams. Back across Thomas Seen. One more Isdale. Schroeder slings it out wider. Perry Baker, who straight away bursts towards the touchline, but gets brought back in by the Samoans. Left again. Thomason gets it across to Madison Hughes. Great hands from him. Gets it Aaron Cummings. One more. Kevin Williams. He's looking for the corner and he's got too much pace and he'll score the try for the USA. He's lying flat on his stomach at the moment. I think he's exhausted. He's done so much throughout this game, whether that's defensively or also scoring now the 2 attacking tries. He's 1 try away from a century. We have good there. I can't collect my ticket yet, Hammy. Put $100 on Island win. Says Spider Mech. Oh, I haven't collected my ticket yet. And yeah, they did very well up against the Blitzbox. I don't think many people predicted that they would win that game by 17 points. Definitely not to the nil of South Africa. Definitely not the best performance that we've seen from the Blitzbox. Now that kick has missed away to the side, which means that the score will remain 19 points to 12. And Kevin Williams has been taken from the field. And now, the big question mark is, if Samoa score and convert, is this going to be the first time in the competition today that we see golden point time? Madison Hughes, though, on the halfway line. 3.5 minutes remaining. The USA need to keep their foot on the pedal. They get a little bit too complacent. That is when we're going to see Samoa be able to strike, but that is knocked backwards by the USA, but taken back. It's a bit of work. The breakdown from the USA. Thomas Seen gets it across to Malachi Isdale. Now Madison Hughes goes to the right-hand side. Perry Baker gets the inside ball away to Joe Schroeder. One more. Madison Hughes, he's through as well. And the USA strike twice in a matter of moments. In fact, they've struck 3 times in the second half. And yeah, not quite good for the Samoans, you would have to say. They did so well throughout the first half to be taking the lead. But now they are sitting 12 points down. Guys, let's hit the like button and make sure to sub if you're enjoying the commentary from this great man. Can New Zealand chase? They are 90 for 3. There's still a very long way to go. The way that they were scoring, like, there's a chance that by the end of tomorrow they could get close if they don't lose their wickets. And the kick is good, which now means Samoa in 2.5 minutes need 2 converted tries. And it's not so much now about, well, in a way, just 1 converted try is definitely the minimum that the Samoans need, as that will keep them within the 7. That will give them a bonus point, which might actually be enough to make it through to the quarterfinals. But they're in such a tough group up against Australia and New Zealand. Those games both taking place tomorrow. We will be covering both of them on the channel, ladies and gentlemen. So if you are new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Now 2 minutes remaining. Madison Hughes kicks it. Slap back attempt from the USA, but it does go on the side of Samoa. Fa'afoi Falaniko takes it to ground. Now back across to the left-hand side. That was BJ Lima with the pass. The USA, though, 2 men in the breakdown, and they've managed to get the turnover. Nufe, man who helped out with that physicality here. Now 100 seconds remaining. I believe the USA will either go for a scrum or a line out here. They will try and use up as much time as they physically can. Oh, 20 is going to be subbed. So that's going to be the end of Motuopitai. I think that's going to be Lalomilo who makes his way on, who was commentating in the channel when you were playing cricket. So that was Tim, also known as Rugby Itch, also known as my co-host in the Rugby Recap. But he was on. He's actually on for the halftime break as well for this one. It's probably going to be on for the full-time break, if I'm not wrong. Now going off to the right-hand side, Joe Schroeder. Cross here to Kevin Williams. In fact, no, it will actually be the replacement Anufe, as Williams was taken off earlier on. Joe Schroeder again, trying to push just a little bit closer towards that 5 metre line of the Samoans. Grabber attempted from Madison Hughes. Going to be kicked dead there, but they are going back with the original advantage in favour of the USA. 50 seconds remaining now. They are just talking to Kevon Williams. Of course, he is only 1 try away from 100. Okay, they've called for the scrum. Now the USA. 45 seconds remaining. So still plenty of time for maybe 1, if not 2 more tries to be scored throughout this contest. Now Madison Hughes does feed that ball in. Nicely done off the back. Running sideways. I believe that time it is Lucas Lecamp taken down by Letufia. Now back across to the left-hand side. Big, heavy, striding run. 2 meters out for the USA. Little pick and go. He's on the try line. They're going to go upstairs, but I believe this is the try. I think it is for Ben Pinkelman. Oh no, Oren Bitzer, in fact, will be the man who may have scored it. Do you know Greg Martin, Hammy? He blasted New Zealand team for resting top players, WTF. Says Spider-Mick, I do not know Greg Martin, no, but that is going to be the try scored by Oren Bitzer. Probably won't be his last try of the LA Sevens. Throughout his career, he has only scored the 2, so he's already doubled it. Can he triple it by the end of the competition? And this will be right on the full-time siren as well for the USA. Madison Hughes to line up this last kick, but this has been a strong performance from the USA. The kick is unsuccessful, but that will be the end of this match. No bonus point at this point for the Samoans, and they are actually still on the same points that they were on when we got to halftime in this contest. But nonetheless, we will go like that, and we will ask Tim, who I saw was very happy at one point with a USA try. We'll find out his thoughts on the overall game. But Tim, once again, that changed compared to halftime. That's the beauty of Sevens, isn't it? One moment you think you know who's going to win, and then the next moment the opposition come out and score, what was it, 24 unanswered points?
Yeah, I mean, the USA did well in that second half. They cruised through it. Samoa really had no answer. And it's like I said, like literally the substitutions on like kind of made the difference, really, particularly with Madison Hughes actually getting a try for himself. But yeah, no, that's a really good win actually for the United States. I mean, we have to remember this is obviously being played in LA, so they're obviously being seen as the favorite going into this game anyway. But I think actually going back anyway towards our predictions on the podcast as well, we both said the USA would advance through to the next stage, if I'm correct as well. So yeah, it's gonna be a tricky one at the end of the day of these two sides, because it's always really close, I'd say. But yeah, USA definitely had the edge throughout most of the second half.
I believe our prediction was they'd make it to the quarters, but they wouldn't make it to the semi.
Yeah, I think this is the one where we had the same 4 teams, if I'm not mistaken. We said what was it? Fiji, France, Argentina, and New Zealand were the 4 that we selected to go to the semis. Again, obviously that could obviously vary because we didn't know obviously who's playing who, but yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
Of course, New Zealand, a little bit of ground to make up after losing their first game to
against Australia.
The Australians.
Even the Boxers as well.
Big day tomorrow. 3 games for all of these sides. It's going to be an entertaining one, but I do appreciate it, mate. I know you probably heard me say it on the actual stream, but at the end of the day, without you coming on and doing those other live streams, the live streams just wouldn't have been done while I was away. So very grateful for you. Anyone who hasn't already, be sure to check out Rugby Itch's YouTube channel, as well as the Rugby Recap. We've got plenty of rugby stuff on there, including all the Sevens, so be sure to give that a look. But thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And we will see you all for the next one, which for me is actually Super Rugby Pacific in just under an hour's time. Fiji and Drua versus Moana Pacifica. And we will see you all for the next one.